Good morning, students. We are going to discuss about linked queue in this class. In the last class, we discussed about queue implementation using array. Okay, how a class is used to implement a array and how the elements of the queue are kept in a array. Those things we have discussed in the last class. And we have implemented various operations as well. In this class, we are going to implement a queue using pointer. You people already know the advantages of having a pointer for implementing a data structure. We implemented stack using pointer. We had one external pointer for the stack. Like that, in the queue also, we need two external pointers. Already you know the definition of a queue. It is an abstract data type in which elements are processed in the first in, first out order. There is a separate entry point and exit point. Values are entered into the queue from one side. Values are removed from the queue in another side. So we need two external pointers for implementing a linked queue. Implementing a linked queue. Now look at this. This is the figurative representation of a queue. You see, it is made up of pointer connection. This is the first element of the queue. Then the first element is pointing the second element. Second element is pointing the third element. Third element pointing the fourth element, like this. And the last element is here. You see the first element is pointed by an external pointer front. The last element is pointed by an external pointer rear. See, so there are two external pointers, front and rear, for this queue. This is the linked representation of a queue. Okay. Now we can create a empty queue. We can insert a value into the queue. We can remove a value from the queue, and you can display the contents of a queue. You can check the queue is empty or not. Like this, these are the operations that you can perform. Now, in this picture, you see a existing queue. When a queue is existing, the front is pointing the first element of the queue, rear is pointing the last element of the queue. And supposing the queue is empty, what would the pointers front and rear will point? They don't have any element to point to. So the front and the rear pointers will be pointing null. They will be pointing null. So how do you know whether the queue is empty? If front and rear are pointing null, we can say the queue is empty. Then how do you create a empty queue, empty linked queue? By setting front is equal to null and rear is equal to null, we create a empty queue. We create a empty queue. Okay. Then how do you insert a value into a queue? How do you insert a value into a queue? Now look at this picture. Let us have, this is a existing queue. The elements here in the queue are 1, 7, 3, 4, 2, 6, 5. Okay. Look at this. The last element is not pointing anything. So it is null. It is null. The last element is not pointing null anything. So that is rear is pointing null. The rear is pointing, the next node of the next field of the node pointed by rear is pointing null. Okay. Simply saying rear reference next is equal to null. This is rear reference next. So rear reference next is equal to null. This is the queue. That is the existing queue. Here I want to insert a value into the queue. Means what I should do is, in this area, first of all, I should create a empty node. Empty node is having two areas. One is a data area and another is a pointer area. So I will make it pointed by a variable called PTR. PTR is a pointer variable pointing the new empty node. In that new, then the data field of that new empty node, I will get the value. What element I want to insert? Okay, let us like I want to insert 9. So that 9 is stored in the data field of the node pointed by PTR. Then that node is going to be the last node. So the next field of the new node, I make it as null. The next field of the new node as null. Then the connection from the node pointed by rear should be given to the new node. So this is the pointer field of the last node. Okay, this is accessed as rear reference next. Rear reference next. So when the rear next is pointing the new node, then a connection from here is given to the new node. Okay, then the new node has become the last node. Naturally, that should be pointed by rear. So we will advance our rear from here to the new node. That's what happening. I am creating an empty node. In this empty node, I copy the value 9. Then I make the next field of the new node as null. Then the connection from the new node reference next is given to the new node. Yes, connection is made here. After that, rear is moved from here to here. That is how we do it. Look at this algorithm that explains this one. In the first step one, what we do, allocate a memory for the new node. That is, for this new node, a memory, and make it pointed by PTR. Then set PTR next PTR data is equal to what's the value I want to insert 9. So PTR data on the 9, I make it as 9. Then PTR next is null, because after inserting that node, that will become the last node, and naturally the next field of the last node will be pointing null. So I set PTR next is equal to null. Then there are two chances of inserting a value into a node. So you might be inserting into a queue that is already null, already empty, or you might be inserting a node into an existing queue. Okay, so your logic should take into consideration both the situations. So if you are going to insert a node into a empty queue, means then that after inserting that is the only node that is going to be in the queue. So that is the front node and that is the rear node. So both your front and the rear should be pointing that node. So okay, so how do you know whether your queue is empty? So if your front pointer is pointing null, then you can say that the queue is empty. Either you can say whether your front is equal to null or rear is equal to null, you can say the queue is empty. Otherwise, simply you say if front is equal to null, you can claim that the queue is empty. So if front is equal to null, then you said what you do, the new node is going to be the only node. You set front is equal to rear, and also this rear is equal to pointer. So front is equal to pointer and the rear is equal to pointer. That is, both front and the rear are pointing the new node, Otherwise, that is, you are going to insert into a existing queue. What you will do? So inserting, first of all, you create an empty node. Then you set rear reference next should be pointing rear reference next should be pointing the new node. So from the next field of the rear node, you make a from the next field of the rear node, you make a connection to the new node. Then the rear should be moving from this node to the last node. So the last node is pointed by PTR. So give the value of PTR to the rear. So rear will move from here to here. That is the logic behind writing a inserting a node into the queue. Okay, that we will implement it now. Implement it now. Okay, then we will come back. So to implement a linked queue, first of all, I need a self-referential structure. Recall what I told you about a self-referential structure. It is a structure in which one of the member is a pointer member pointing the very same structure. Pointing the very same structure. That is self-referential structure. See in this picture, every node is a structure having two members. One is a data member and next is a pointer member pointing the very same kind of node, pointing the very same kind of node. How this is node? Same is this node. Okay, so the pointer field of this node is pointing another node of the same kind. So that is why a self-referential structure is needed to implement a linked data structure. So to implement this linked queue, first of all, we define a self-referential structure. Struct. I call this one as node type. Struct node type. So what are the two data members? One data member to get the data of the queue. So I call that as integer information info. I call that as info. Then the next data member is a pointer member. Next one is a pointer member. So that is pointing, every pointer member is pointing the very same kind of node. So it is node type star. I call that pointer member as a next. So it is a pointer field. So we should have a star before this pointer variable. Okay. Now we have designed a self-referential structure. Now we go for the class. Now we go for the class. Okay. Class, I call it as Q type. I call it as Q type. Then class is having two areas. One is a private data member area and another is a function member area. Here, just now I told you that this linked queue should have two external pointers. So those two external pointers are defined, these are declared in this data member area. I call them as front and rear. Front is a pointer variable that should point what kind of value? No type kind of value. So I say no type star front. Simply I set it as front F. Then similarly I need another external pointer called rear. No type star rear. Okay, so front will pointing the first node of the queue, rear F will point to the first node of the queue, R will point the last node of the queue. That is enough. Now we go for the operation area, that is function member area of the class queue type. Okay, so I make them as public. Access specifier public. Then we need a constructor for this. What is the name of the class? Q type is the name of the class. So Q type, open bracket, close bracket. Here I will initialize some of the private members of this class Q type. Okay, you know the purpose of having a constructor, that is to assign some values to your private members and to initialize the particular data structure. We will use this constructor, and this constructor will be executed automatically once the object for the class is declared in the main function. Okay. Now, what are the operations that you want to perform, or you want to check whether the queue is empty or not? So, int is empty. That is one of the operation. Then you want to check whether the queue is full or not. Int is full. That is another operation we perform. Then you want to insert a value into the queue. Okay, so I said void enqueue. Okay, you might need a external formal parameter for this. So I want to keep only integer values in my queue. So the type of my formal parameter is int. Then I want to remove a value from the queue. So I declare it as void dequeue. Okay. Then the removed value I want to display it, so I make it as a reference variable. So because of this ampersand in the formal parameter, the value of this formal parameter is given to the actual parameter. Two-way communication called by reference mechanism. Then I want to display the contents of that queue. So void display the contents of that queue. That's all. These are the things that I want. Okay. Now, for my convenience, I keep all these things in one area. Okay. Now, okay, now we go for the implementation of these operations of the linked queue. Okay, first we go for the implementation of the constructor. Okay, constructor is available in the class queue type. Queue type. So what I told you, we initialize some of the private members. The private members are F and rear. I set F equal to null. I set F is equal to null. Then I set rear equal to null. Rear is equal to null. That's all. So the private and the external pointers front and rear are given some value. When this constructor queue type is called from the main, it is called automatically once the object for this class is declared. Then what happens? An empty queue is created for you. Empty queue is created for you. Okay. Next, we go for the implementation of checking whether my queue is empty or not. Okay, int isQ is available in the class queue type. Queue type is empty. Then when do you say the queue is empty? Either you can check if the front is pointing null, then you can very well say that the queue is empty. No need to check for whether the rear is also empty. So simply saying return F equal to null. This is F is equal to null. Now this will check whether the queue is empty or not. So if F is equal to null, then you will get this statement will return the value of 1. Okay, otherwise it will return the value of 0. Okay, then how to check whether the queue is full or not? Here comes the complication. You can keep on adding values into the queue. Okay, only the size of the memory device in which the queue is going to be kept is the limitation. So if the size of the memory device is full, you will not be able to allocate a memory to a pointer variable to point to. So first of all, you try to create we declare a pointer variable. Then we try to assign a memory to a pointer variable. If our attempt is failing, that is our allocating a memory space to a pointer variable is failing, then you can claim that the device is full, and by that way you can claim that the queue is also full. That is the logic we are going to employ now. How do you assign a memory to a pointer variable? Using the new operator, dynamic memory allocation new operator. That's what we are going to do it now. Int, the class name is queue type is the function is empty. Then I create a pointer variable of kind node type star t. Okay, then I set t equal to, I create a memory space for that, t equal to new node type. What happens? T is equal to new type. If the device is full, then memory will not be given to this pointer variable t. So by checking what does this t is pointing, if T is equal to null, if T is equal to null, return 1, else return 0. So that is how we do it. Okay. So if T is equal to null, return 1, else return 0. That is the way to check whether the queue is empty or not. Okay. The remaining operations like pushing a value into the queue, removing a value from the queue, and display the contents of the queue, those things we will discuss it in the coming class. Okay. Thank you.